Hello there. Welcome to Talking Balearics with me, Martin Makepeace, here in a very overcast Ibiza.
And me, Richie Pryor, likewise in an overcast Mallorca today. What a lovely day it's been, Mark, hasn't it?
It's been fantastic, hasn't it? I've got to say. Any rain?
I had a bit of spots of rain, but nothing major. I know yesterday in the middle of the island, they had a big downpour in the middle of the island yesterday, but nothing major down here, to be perfectly honest. But from a point of view, from just from the weather, sort of being able to walk around and not be sweating your proverbials off.
Yeah, no, it makes a big.
It's been fantastic.
I've been looking forward to this day for a while, and I know all the tourists out there will be shouting at their phones and their iPads. But it's just nice to have a break. I think we're back to normal tomorrow, aren't we? So it's just nice to have one day off, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
where it's not 35 degrees in your face. Anyway, Rich, how are you?
Yeah, good. All good, Mark. All good. Yeah. Very busy.
Very busy. Good.
Yeah, lots of things going on. Lots of good things going on, and looking forward to the rest of the next sort of madness of 7 or 8 weeks, I suppose.
Well, we're just on the cusp, aren't
September.
We're just on the cusp, aren't we now? So I think we're just 2 weeks to go before it really goes off, and then I mean, I don't know about you over there, but I think probably 25th of July to the 20th of August over here is the crazy time. Those 3 weeks, they just go absolutely mental.
Yeah, obviously school holidays coming up in the next. Well, I think the Scots are already off, but the English break up in about a week or 2 weeks' time, and then as you say, it's all hell breaks loose for 5 or 6 weeks, and then we get September, which is the month I think both of us think is probably one of the best of the year.
Absolutely,
and we can start looking forward to the winter again.
No, my personal favorite is November, as you know. However, no, listen, summer's a necessary evil. So far, so good.
But listen, Mark, you've been away actually. Before we go any further, do you know what I mean? You've been hobnobbing it. You know, were you in the Royal Box? Did you get into the Royal Box?
I was very close to the Royal Box. I saw a few of the Alacadoos there, and in Wimbledon, it was nice. Very, very English day out, Rich. I've got to say. Unfortunately, my attention span didn't last that long sitting watching tennis, but I really enjoyed the occasion.
And then you went to Edgbaston as well, didn't you? To the
Edgbaston
cricket?
For the cricket the day after, which is a bit more my style, actually, a bit more boozy in the Hollies at Edgbaston. Although, again, I didn't watch too much cricket because the Indians had a good day. But it was a class couple of days in England, and the weather was fantastic, and it was just nice to be there and see some friends.
Nice.
So, Richie, this is enough about Edgbaston, Wimbledon. This is Talking Balearics. What Balearics have you got for me this week, please, Richard?
Well, I know you, Mark, you like to sort of hang out with a celebrity and everything else and bang on about how Ibiza's for celebrities. But we, at the moment, are wall-to-wall celebrity, Mark. You can't move right now for celebrities here in Mallorca. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
Everywhere I turn, there's a celebrity.
So you got some celebs for me. What else you got?
Yeah, I also just a little bit of a touch on, as you do, because I blogged about it this week, tourismophobia, because I love that subject.
Oh, God, here we go, yeah. Right, yeah, It, unfortunately, it's probably the main... I think when we look back at our... go over the year, I'll look back at the year. I think it will be the number one, won't it, on the list? Tourismophobia. I'm trying to ignore it myself, Rich. But I mean, listen, it is there in the background, isn't it?
But I want to tie it into actually because there's I'll wait till we talk. But there's a reason behind saying what I'm going to say, and that's it. Well, and a little thing about Real Mallorca as well.
Okay, yeah, we like a little football sketch, don't we? I've got a bit of. You go on about tourismophobia. I've probably gone about cars a lot and parking because it's a real problem. We've got a bit of news big news come out today about parking in San Antonio where I live. There's the National Police have released a little document called How to Avoid Ruining Your Vacation, which I think is hilarious. So we'll go over that as well. And something that someone sent me today about an item in the Guardian at the weekend about Ibiza, about the ambulance service, which I'll touch on as well. So I'm not sure there's anything to it, but we'll talk about it because if it's in the UK national press, it's worth talking about, isn't it?
Definitely.
So, listen, how are you spelling celebs, mate? Is it CELEBS or is it SLEBS? Is it celebs?
No, mate, this is proper celebrity. This is none of your Love Islanders. Although obviously we have that here right now, of course. It's going on. I don't know where it is now. What program is it? ITVX or something or other, isn't it? It is going on. But no, we're talking A-listers here, Mark. Blimey, everywhere you look. Well, listen, my son.
Give me a name.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wow,
Yeah,
it doesn't come much bigger, does it? It doesn't come much
well,
bigger.
literally, as I sit here, my little garden outside, Mark. If I could throw a stone to where his boat is moored right now, and my son got so excited that he actually went down to the port to see if he could actually meet him today, because a mate of his did meet him today.
Wow.
So there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's here. Obviously, he was over in Portugal for we must mention the sad passing of Diogo Jota from Liverpool, which I think us as football fans, regardless of which football team you support, was an absolute shock.
Tragedy, mate. Absolute tragedy.
For to hear that, and thoughts lie with all his friends and family and all Liverpool fans, of course. But yeah, he was over in Portugal for the funeral, so he's taking some time out, I think, to come here to Mallorca, and he's in Port Adriano right now.
Do you know why? Do you know why he was called Diogo Jota, Richie?
No.
Jota is Portuguese for J, so it's Diego J. So because he was Diogo Jose, so that's why, because his surname was Silva, unfortunately, like his sadly deceased brother as well. But he's known as Jota, Diogo Jota. So there's a little trivia about the great footballer that he was, and just tragedy, really. I mean, I can't remember a death in sport being treated like that for a long time, really, and it just shows you. I think the feedback. I had a couple of friends of mine actually from Wolverhampton who knew him when he played for Wolves, and they both said the same thing. They just said, a really great guy, time for everybody, and a great guy. And I think that's the difference, isn't it? I think that's why everyone's come out and they're so saddened by it, really.
Yeah. So moving on from Cristiano Ronaldo, Oprah Winfrey and Kris Jenner in Palma, on a boat in Palma.
Wow. We are A-listers today, aren't we, Rich? Yeah. Gosh.
Dua Lipa having coming she's up in Daya, celebrating with her friends after obviously she performed at I don't know if she did Glastonbury. Did she do a lip? I'm not sure, but she's been on a world tour anyway.
Yeah, she's on a world tour. Yeah,
I don't know if you know this, Mark. I think he's a friend of yours.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say. I was going to say this was Jason Jones' daughter.
Jones.
Yeah, Jason Jones'
daughter.
So Jason Jones' daughter,
Alessi Rose, isn't it? I think is her name.
Alessandra. When I met her, she was Alessandra. Now she's Alessi Rose, isn't she? So she's a supporting act. Yeah,
she's been doing support for Alessi Rose. So every time I speak to Jason on whether it's on LinkedIn or on Facebook, he's been gallivanting around all these different places. He's living the dream. He is.
Well, his missus. She's from Derby as well, by the way, Rich. So,
really?
And his missus is a girl I used to go to school with as well. So it really is in the family, isn't it? So So yeah, Alessi Rose. She's the warm up act for Dua Lipa. She's only 21, I think she is as well. So she's doing.
Yeah, she's done very well. She's a bit of a meteoric rise actually over the last year in particular. And I've been doing my darndest to get her on earmark, but it's not working yet. It's not working. I keep
Alessi or Dua? Dua Lipa or Alessi?
Yeah, Dua Lipa definitely, but Alessi would be fine. But anyway,
we'll get her on. We'll get her on, mate. Don't worry, we'll get her on.
We're still carrying on with these celebrities. Jennifer Aniston is here.
What is happening? What's happening for Mallorca? This is madness.
I know. Listen, Richard Branson playing chess with Ebrietze, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Eze from Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
They've been playing chess together up in his estate.
Eze's a very good chess player, by the way. I read that as well. He's well known for it as well as a great chess player. So who else was who was the last one?
Justin Bieber is here celebrating. Yeah, I could go on, to be perfectly honest.
No, this is quite impressive actually.
It's when you actually write it down. Oh, and there's also possibility I've heard that Johnny Depp could be here as well. Actually, the actor on a boat. So as he would be, of course, that's where he should be right now. But
God, we are.
But yeah, listen, Mallorca's gone mad for celebs, Mark. It's it's great.
Do you know what I was thinking today? That we need to inject a few celebs into the podcast, get the numbers up, and you've just done it all in one go there, Rich, haven't you?
Celeb watch. Exactly.
Celeb watch,
well, listen, you know what, Mark? This can always go back to the tourism thing that we keep talking about. These people want to come here. We have something that people want to see. Do you know what I mean? And we are very close to the whole of Europe, whichever way you want to look at it. We're a 2-hour flight from pretty much every major UK city in Europe, and people want to come here. And I don't think that's a bad thing. We should be celebrating that fact.
And also, if the celebs are spotted here, then it goes viral. It goes all over the world. It just gets the name of the Balearics, Mallorca, Ibiza, Formentera, and Menorca. Well, not so much Menorca because I think they had someone from Coronation Street there last week. I think so.
Who's that? Les Battersby.
Only joking, Menorcans.
Yeah. Sorry, Simon.
Menorquinas. But no, it just gets the name out there, Rich, doesn't it? Really does.
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. And long may it continue.
Parking, Rich.
Parking! Don't go there at this time of year.
I know. I mean, what's parking like round your way?
A nightmare, I think most people will know. And listen, I go to work at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and even I'm driving into Palma, and I'm trying to find a free parking space in Palma. I mean, the parking, paying parking doesn't start till 9 o'clock in the morning or something. But, the problem is I've got, if I'm doing a radio show, it's quite difficult to sort of run out and put money in the meter while you're in the middle of a show. So I normally try and find a free parking space. And even at 6 in the morning, it's very difficult to find one.
Yeah, no, it's a nightmare. I mean, parking's just a nightmare anyway. I think when the urban planning person was getting, all these plans together, he just thought, listen, forget about the cars, starting all these projects, but there's nowhere for cars to park. In San Antonio, we have this major problem because there's no parking anywhere. And what happens is there's a big kind of dirt park, and it's next to Cafe Mambo and down that area. It's owned by the Matutis family, who own Ushuaia, High, Universe, lots of hotels.
Much everything.
Yeah, pretty much most of the island. And what's happened is San Antonio Council about 10, 15 years ago built a big car park in the middle of town, and a big underground car park. And part of the deal was that they wouldn't offer free parking. Then they opened this dirt ground, and basically the car park people took them to court. And 10 years later, they have won the case. And now what the judge has said is they've got to close the dirt car park, which must have 1,000 cars on it, Rich. And I mean, it's creating panic. Now, I saw today in one of my little political groups that they said that they're going to appeal it, which could be, it could be 6 months, could be a year, couldn't it? But it's not great as well. And I just think the islands, when they get together, they need to think about parking, because we've only got finite amount of space. And there's so many cars on the islands these days, Rich. I know they're trying to put a limit on it, but it doesn't seem to have changed anything, by the way, and I don't think it will. So they just got to come up with a solution. And I just think if they did have to close that car park in San Antonio, I just don't know where the cars would go.
Well, two things on top of that, Mark. I mean, we're talking about limiting the cars and everything else, but they're putting a limit on cars that are coming from somewhere else to the island. And I'd be interested to know exactly how many cars actually do make that journey. Yeah. I can't believe there's a huge amount that actually do that. Is there?
I don't. Well, I think maybe for the 4-week holiday when the Spanish come over in like last week of July, first 3 weeks of August. Sorry, I think that the ferries will be full because people drive over. A lot of people drive over from France, even if you were brave enough to do it from the UK. But I don't think that's the problem, Rich. I think I was asking around the other day, and I think most families, I think we've got 4 cars in our family. You've got, 2 cars in your family, soon to have 3, aren't you, now that your son's passed his test? So,
he hasn't passed his test yet.
No, as soon as he will, he'll get a car, So, I think every one person on the island has got more or less got a car. So it just needs, I just think that the planners have just kind of pushed it to one side, but more parking is needed or less cars. It's quite a straightforward analogy, isn't it?
Well, they haven't learned. I mean, here in Palma, we've obviously the Paseo Maritimo's had a bit of a big, a huge makeover over the last few years. It's taken a long time to get it finished. It's not actually finished just yet, but listen, it looks fantastic. That's the truth. But my understanding is they've taken away about 1,000 parking spaces from that area and haven't replaced them at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So, whilst they actually made the area nicer, do you know what I mean? They've made the parking horrendous. Yeah. So, you go back to what you said, planners, planning, please.
Yeah, no, planning. I mean, it's like cars are a dirty word, Rich, and I kind of understand it because we want more pedestrians as well. And I don't even want to talk about electric scooters, Rich, because they are the bane of my life, by the way. I absolutely hate those electric scooters. It's not that I hate them. It's just that they're lawless. They're everywhere. Where I live, they drive the wrong way down a one-way street and they just kind of do what they want. So it's a bit chaotic. I mean, it's chaotic on the streets anyway, Rich, at the moment. But throw the electric scooters and the lack of parking and the lack of planning, and it really is chaotic out there at the moment. So town planners, get it sorted.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I was going to talk about we
tourismophobia.
Yeah, well, yes, it's not a major thing actually. We were talking earlier about celebrities enjoying the island, and we should embrace that fact. And I agree with that. But I think that, after all these protests and everything else, which was, in my opinion, a waste of time. 3% of the population protested here in Mallorca. There's better things to be doing than protesting right now. Glad to see that the host, I think we talked about this last week, that the hotel industry got to deal with the unions, and that I think has been now put down to the restaurant associations as well, because they were slightly worried about having to pay more because they're saying that the season isn't as busy for them as it could be. But it looks like that situation is going to get sorted as well. But my thoughts are that we should be embracing the problem. We should be trying to find solutions to the problem. Obviously, we all agree that, social housing is one of the biggest things. But I think that's, we all know this. It's the case in pretty much every European major tourist city that you visit, even in the UK right now. Do you know what I mean? There is that problem as well. There's a problem with social housing in the UK as much as there is here. To be honest with you, both of us have lived in destinations that I think over the last sort of 5 years or so have turned themselves around. I'm talking about San Antonio, Magaluf, where you can actually, with foresight and planning and thinking and looking at different ways of doing things, change a resort. I mean, Magaluf right now, and I think obviously you've been talking about San Antonio with the murals and everything else, and the streets being painted and everything else. Magaluf is a different town altogether these days. Yeah. And I think it's fantastic. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is there are places right on our doorstep, like Magaluf and San Antonio, that I think the islands themselves could learn from if they actually thought about what they were going to do. Does that make sense?
For sure. No, I get what you're saying. The thing is, I mean, really, but what you need, Rich, is a forward-thinking council. That's what you need. And we've been a bit stagnant for a few years. Luckily, in San Antonio at the moment, we've got a young mayor. I did a podcast with him over Christmas. He's really keen. Just for instance, the mural on the ground by Acuda San Miguel, for instance, he even said to me, it was a risk. He's taken a risk, right? So that's what we need. We need risk takers in there that try things. If they work, then go through with it. If they don't, then try for something else. And that mural on the ground, the street art, the graffiti, call it what you want, it's been really successful, Rich, and it's just changed it's changed that area. It really has. And when we get the boulevard down from the West End down to the Sunset Strip, all of a sudden you watch things change. In fact, myself and Julian Cobby are going to go and do a little sketch there this week on Thursday, just a little bit about just a follow up of the one we did last time, just to catch up with a few of the locals and see what the feeling's like down there. I think it will be mainly positive. I really do.
Yeah, I think that's good. And as I say, I think we, like you, have a forward-thinking mayor. I like him. I've interviewed him a couple of times, or 3 times, I think now. Yeah. And I'm trying to get him to come back on again, actually, very shortly. He's the mayor of Calvia, Juan Antonio Amengual, and very forward-thinking. Actually, the reason being is because he's come from the tourism industry. It does help. You know what I mean?
Marcus Serra said to me, the mayor of San Antonio, his first job was in a bar on the Paseo, where he was dealing with English people every day and international people. So he's seen it with his own eyes. So that's what we need. We need forward-thinking politicians in these places as well. Figueretas as well in Ibiza town. That used to be a bit of a strange place as well. There used to be a lot of crime there. It's not out of the woods yet, but it's really cleaned up its act. Doltville, the old town of Ibiza, used to be a bit of a, can I say in the nice way, it was a no-go zone for many years. Now, houses there are going for €1 million, €2 million. It really is a fantastic place. They've cleaned it right up. So that's what we need, just forward thinking and a bit of risk taking, Rich. That's what it's all about. A bit of risk taking. If it works, great. Let's back them. If it works, great. If it doesn't, let's not hold it against them. Let's carry on for the next one.
I agree.
Funny what you're saying about the celebs as well. I meant to ask you before, Alcaraz, going back to Alcaraz. It's not a very good segue on this one, but
has he been back in?
But in his last news conference at Wimbledon, he mentioned Ibiza again. I think we should start paying him actually for all this publicity, because
he's your ambassador.
He is, yeah. Well, he's kind of the, what is he, 22, Carlos? Is he Carlitos? Is he 20?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. 22,
I've got to say, I watched him play tennis last week and he is unbelievable. He is incredible. He's absolutely fantastic. He really is a different level. But he came out in his latest press conference and said he wants money from the Ibiza tourism industry because he's talking Ibiza up so much.
Is that what he said?
And yeah, as a joke. But he also said that he told Cameron Norrie, who he's playing tomorrow, I believe, isn't he?
No, it's today. He's playing now. He's playing
is it now? Is it right? Okay,
he's two sets up right now.
Yeah, well, he was never. Not, yeah. I'm afraid Norrie was never going to beat him. I'm afraid. But he said that he told Norrie, and Cameron Norrie came to Ibiza and enjoyed himself as well. So,
oh, really? Brilliant.
We've got Alcaraz talking us up as well. Talking about people when they come over, something that just caught my attention today was in the press that the local police have issued a little guide of how to not to ruin your holiday, and talk about teaching people like idiots. It's incredible. I mean, it really is. I mean, they've got pictures of what to do and everything. It's talk about common sense, Richie. One interesting thing came out of it when he said that one of the major problems now in Ibiza is people stealing your suitcase. Yeah. So when you come to the island, you're looking for a taxi, or you go to your hire car, you turn your back for 5 minutes, or not even 5 minutes, 30 seconds, and people come and just steal your suitcase. So that's something that is really to watch out for. And the other thing said that 80% of the crimes are petty theft. So, I mean, we've got to say, in general, the islands aren't the most, they're not dangerous. So I wouldn't say they're dangerous at all. It's just petty crime. So the police have brought out this little, and it's passport size as well. So it's in a passport size. So if you're a bit of an idiot and you've never been on holiday before, get that, because there's be some things in it for you.
Casting no aspersions. Anyway, there you go. Fantastic. Brilliant.
And the last thing, have you got anything else before I go on the last thing that I've on my list there, Richie, or should we finish with football?
Well, I've got. I can finish with football. You can start. I don't mind.
Let me finish this, because I always like to finish with football. And the last thing I've got today is someone sent it to me today about. It was in the Guardian on Sunday. Actually, the ambulance union is saying that basically one in three of the ambulance call-outs go to the big clubs. So they're kicking off about it, and they're saying, why don't the clubs have their own ambulances? Which I thought was interesting. It hasn't been reported in Ibiza at all. I haven't seen that. That was reported in the Guardian, and they're saying, listen, why should the rest of the? It's interesting. Our old argument. I mean, you've written about it many times. I've written about it many times as well. Residents or tourists, what comes first? Basically, ambulance is saying, hold on a minute. Why should the residents on the island suffer because 1 in 3 ambulance call outs are to the big clubs, and then majority drug related as well? So we're back to that old chestnut.
Well, I'm playing devil's advocate. I would imagine not every single person in there's a tourist. I imagine there are residents in there, and also, those places are holding what 5,000 to 10,000 people. Which is it's a big part of the population of the day, isn't it? I would imagine. So
not just that,
some sort of service.
I think it's accounting for probably best part of 20% of the island trade at this time of year as well. So it's. I mean, devil's advocate's a great place to be, and I just thought it was interesting, especially that it's been reported in the UK press, but not the Spanish press. I think maybe the union guys just looking for might be negotiating wages soon. You never know, mate.
Yes, of course, that old chestnut. So, Real Mallorca, Mark, it is time for us season ticket holders to renew our season ticket.
Good.
We have to July the 17th to renew. If you're a season ticket holder, you've got to July the 17th. If you want to change your seat, move it around in the same area, or you want to move to a different area, you have to first of all renew your season ticket, and then after the 17th, between the 21st and the 25th. You'll need to go down to the office at the stadium and see if you can move your seat. Me and the boys actually we're thinking of moving. We're thinking of moving somewhere else. We've actually got great seats, I'll be honest with you. We're down by a corner flag, but very, very close to the pitch. So we have got great seats, but we're thinking of maybe going behind one of the goals. We're not really sure yet, to be honest with you.
Richie, how much are you paying for your season ticket now at Real Mallorca?
My season ticket this year is going to be $550 for me.
Yeah,
and 245 for both of my boys.
Well, that's good.
Though.
I mean, that's good though for the boys, isn't it? I mean, that's for a La Liga club as well. So that's the highest league in Spain. I mean, you got to say that's quite a good value for money, isn't it?
They do a special price for kids under a certain age as well, which is great. And mind you, I'm probably going to get into the retirement age soon, Mark. Do you know what I mean? I'm not far off myself. Do you know what I mean? To get a cheaper ticket.
We can already go on a saga cruise, Rich, me and you, so we're okay.
I know, which is a bit of a sad situation.
Imagine me and you at the bar at a Saga cruise. It'd be carnage.
I get those ads coming up on Facebook all the time, Mark. Listen, I don't think that's bad, to be honest. You $550. Compare it to probably a Premier League club. It's actually very good.
And if you were to sell, the Mallorca, so the Mallorca versus Barcelona match, or the Mallorca versus Real Madrid, could you do that legally?
Yeah. Yes.
You're right.
Well, not legally, no.
Right.
I think the club does have a system. I need to find out a little bit more about it. I think they have a buyback system where if you can't go. What they should offer is, and I know they've offered this at some clubs, if you can't go, you say to the club, I can't go, my ticket's for sale. Let the club sell it for you, and you make a percentage of the sale of the ticket. I think that's a situation which should come to here. I think it doesn't happen right now.
What the Premier League do, they take the ticket back and refund you the price you paid for it, don't they? And then they sell it on at a higher price because obviously they make money and you don't. So maybe some. But say if I was to say to you, Rich, listen, I want that ticket of your season ticket for the Madrid match. How much would it go for? Just locally, whatever.
It's somewhere between €200 and €300. So alone, just for the one game.
That one match would pay for more or less one season ticket or half of your.
Yeah, it will. Right. And guess who we've got in the first game?
No, it's not Barca, is it?
Barcelona.
No, at home.
At home.
What date's that?
August the 16th, I think it is.
Okay, I think I'm free that day, Rich, just to let you know, just in case a little cheeky ticket comes up, you know where I am.
Yeah, we've got, I think it's Barcelona first game, then the third game, we've got Real Madrid away.
Wow.
So it's a bit of a tough start for us, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. So I'll keep you posted, Mark. I'll keep you posted.
Fantastic, Richie. Really enjoyed that, mate. I love finishing on football. Before I go, I got to say that I met a couple. I was over on the East Coast yesterday. Met a couple around the swimming pool who were big fans of the podcast, Rich. Big fans. So,
really?
Yeah. So I said I'd give them a shout out to Dale and Leah. So they listen every week and they really enjoy it, mate. So the podcast is getting through, Rich.
That's good. That's good to hear. Good.
So you've got your Jennifer Aniston and Justin Bieber, and I've got my podcast fans around the pool in California.
Well, getting stopped in O beaches,
Yeah, well,
I think that's amazing.
You know what they say? You know what they say to me when they stop? They go, "Listen, can I ask you something?" I go, "Yeah." Do you know Richie Pryor?
Yeah, all right. No, whatever. Anyway, nice to see your son's or ex-football club now, obviously not your son's football club, getting a sponsorship out of O Beach, Mark. We should talk about that maybe next week.
Yeah, no, we'll do it. Yeah, I've just done the big deal between O Beach and SD Port Money and Reebok. So let's mention that next week, Rich, shall we?
All right.
Lovely.
Take care, Mark. Nice to talk to you.
Good to speak to you, Rich, as always. Have a great week.
See you soon.
Make me dance.